All right. I showed 9 a.m., and so we're not going to hold anybody back. We're going to go ahead and get the Skype meeting started. I want to welcome everybody. We do have some new callers on, give me 1 second. I have a little bit of feedback on this other system back here. You can shut that one off. I hear myself talking. Sorry. All right, so we had an awesome weekend. We had a home buyer seminar that took place this yesterday, and even though it was scheduled for heavy storms, we had a lot of people come out. It did rain, there was some hail, but people still showed up. It didn't stop them, and I believe that's because of the information that we're sharing. And it seemed like everybody gravitated to what Corey was talking about. There was a lot of participation in that. If you have not been to one of Corey's home buyer seminars where he shares it, you got to be out there. You got to listen to this. And for Houston agents, now we have a mission, and that's to go ahead and just conquer the builders here in Houston with these home buyer seminars. Eventually, it'll lead to picking up their listings. And there's a lot more stuff that's going to come with that. So I'm really excited there. I want to hear from some of the people that showed up. Again, we do this call for the new people that are out there. We believe that iron sharpens iron, and listening to your peers, and we can grow from that. And so if anybody was out there yesterday, I'd like you to just take a moment and share a little bit about what you saw, what you took from the home buyer event. I know who was out there, so I don't mind starting to calling people. Nope. Millie, we were talking a little bit earlier about what the builders thought. Maybe you could share, and then maybe somebody will jump in. Just the feedback.
So I got a message on Facebook from one of the VPs from Anglia Homes. They actually came to me and requested for a home buyer seminar after we've done it several times for other builders. And this is for the VP, a problematic community because they don't have a lot of sales. And I believe they were shocked because we had about 98 families that were registered, 45 confirmed, and we had no sitting room left. Most of us, the NHP partners, were standing, and the responses were phenomenal. She was very grateful because just a few weeks past, they had another real estate company that tried to do the same thing, and they only had probably like 6 people to show up. And the resources were pretty much a lot more than us because those people have a lot of extra money to spend. But I believe, 3 people showed up. Corey's correcting me. But I believe, like I was saying earlier this morning, that when God anoints you to do something and He gives you a task, it is your task to be completed, and so you are going to be fruitful in that. I mean, yesterday after the event, we went to eat, and I was talking to one of the guys that showed up, and I said, we had 98 people, and he says, where would have sat if they showed up? And so it was because, a few of them were scared that the rain would just be a little bit more than what it was anticipated. But, we know the weather in Houston, it's not very, very secure. So I just thank God that everybody showed up. The responses from our team was excellent, and I think that a lot of people are watching. Even if they don't click like or comment on your post, there's a lot of people that are watching because then you get the, conversations and hearsays. And so I know that we're well represented by every NHP agent that showed up. So I am grateful to you. That's all I got, Robert, for now.
No, you did great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, awesome stuff there. And I know we're just going to get better and better. And people are watching. Alyssa, I know some stuff is going down in Dallas, and I want to see if you can share a little bit about what you guys did this week. You guys are getting referrals, you're getting closings, and you're writing contracts. And, something about all these pre-quals. What's going on there? You may have to unmute your line, Alyssa. May have. All right. So we'll come back to you, Alyssa, if you can hear me, hopefully, or just just let me know when you're on. Who else would like to share something?
Come on, guys, don't be shy.
This is Lorraine. Can you hear me?
I hear loud and clear.
Okay, great. I was at the home buyers seminar in Houston yesterday. It was really great. Corey and Millie, they're like the masters. They're like super. So the meeting was great because the room was full and it was full of excitement and people really came out to learn. And so I think he hit every point. He hit every point masterfully. So, and I think the people went away excited that they came out, and it was well worth their time and effort to get out there. You know, in response to all the rain that we had scheduled for Houston, it didn't happen. And for me, as a new agent, you know, it was great too to see it and see how necessary it is to have these seminars around town. And the more that we can have, probably the better. Because people get informed and they get truly informed and they find out that we know what we're doing, that we have a system that they can follow, and it makes that process much simpler for them. So, and then it makes us feel like when I came out, really part of the team, and we're outside taking pictures and all that, and so, you know, people are doing videos, and so it was just great overall for me.
There were a lot of videos, and if you're around Millie, you know you're going to get caught on camera too. So we have some little bloopers to watch. They weren't really bloopers, but they were fun times. We'll just call it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We'll try Alyssa one more time. She's driving, so it may not work. Can you hear me, Alyssa? You probably hear me, but. Yeah, so we're
driving on her phone to D.R. Horton. That girl is about to write another offer.
Yep, she is. She's killing it over there, and she has a new recruit that she brought on. I believe the mother and daughter are both going to be coming on board. I think the daughter came on right now, so yeah, I can hear. She can hear us. Okay. So anyway, but we'll get. I don't want to steal her thunder or anything because you definitely want to hear from her. And there's a lot of exciting stuff that's taking place in Dallas. So they're one of the movers and shakers. So we'll get them on the call next time. All right. Anybody in Florida?
I think we all went to the beach this weekend.
This is William. I wish I had maybe 4 contracts to share with you guys, but no. But when we go out, you know, 2 of our main goals is certainly contracts and relationships. So I definitely am happy that we have many people out in the field and strengthen those relationships. We have a couple of offers out and doing our best to make the most strategic offers as we can, and just feeling blessed and looking forward to getting an accept on this offer. And all the best to everybody out there.
Awesome. All right. Well, good deal. And I know that we had another contract come in. I'm telling you what, these lease buyouts, the best call you can get, I think, is, hey, Rob, would you be able to help somebody with a lease buyout? We are giving a BTSA, but they need about $2,000 to move into their home. And the answer is yes. And so this is my second one within a week time period, within 2 weeks. And so you love putting that out there. And how did I get it? I guess that would be the question too, because if you're a new agent, how are you getting those people to do that? One, we're building relationships with these other clients, with these sales counselors, going out to their community, talking to them. I'll do CEP appointments in their neighborhood first, and I'll let them know, look, I'm bringing somebody out here. Hopefully they'll like this community. Once I'm done interviewing them, if they fit the payments for your mortgage payments are going to fit their budget, then you have first dibs at talking to them. And so they like the fact that I do that. So now you're always bringing us people. That's what she said. So you're always bringing us people. So I just figured, maybe I'd see if you could help them. Absolutely. And that's something there. So be sure to just build those relationships. Go visit the sales counselors, and something you'll be amazed. You may even get a referral while you're there. For those of you, and it don't have to be bilingual, but if you are bilingual and you end up in one of those communities, sometimes the people there don't speak Spanish or another language, and you may be able to help a client there and get on that deal. So that's our testimony there. The other big thing. Happy birthday, Brent Stone. Happy birthday. I'd sing, but I'm too many other good artists on here that I don't want to embarrass myself singing. So just to let you know you are appreciated, and we, love everything you're doing for the company.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. So anything else you want to share before we get started? Is there anybody that I may have missed or that?
I want to share something, Robbie.
Go ahead.
You just shared something about, talking to the builders. I had the opportunity to write a contract with a builder that I've never dealt before, Devon Street Homes. I've showed them before, but I'd never actually wrote a contract with them. So anyways, I was running a little early, and I went over and about half an hour to an hour earlier, I got on the phone, made a few phone calls, and then I decided to walk in before my buyer, just so that I can build rapport. And it was just amazing to have a conversation, not talking about anything about, hey, can I help you with deals? No, but explaining new home programs in a very, not compromising way about give me your client or this is what we can do. No, I was just sharing what I did for my specific client. And the guy was like, man, I like you, Millie, but it was not that he liked me. He liked the process. And he shared other stories about other agents that, they don't really know financing. They don't really know or have that buyer's rep. So he had, other realtors fight up at one client. And I was like, well, that would never happen with new home programs because we don't come out until we have that buyer's rep. And I hope everybody's doing that. So spend time, even if you don't have a client to show, just go talk to the salespeople because they do not know financing. And, if you can be a help or assistance to them, you will be the first in their mind whenever they need help with a realtor or, with information about, credit or whatever. So it's a good, way of market, the salespeople. And you get to know their product. That's it.
Very true. Any comments on that? All right. Well, we'll go. And before we move on, we did mention that the homebuyer seminar had 94, 98 RSVPs. So
there actually were almost 100. I think at the end. I think at the very last minute we had almost 100.
Wow. And that's huge. Even though that not everybody came out, but just know that those are leads that we can talk to. So just because they don't show up, we can. Although we had standing room only, there's still a lot of clients that can be contacted. So
every one of them, all of them are entered in Wolf Connect, and they should all be assigned except for maybe 4 or 5 that I kept that registered Saturday night late or early Sunday morning. Those I need to pass out, but everyone should have contacts. And Corey created tags in Boomtown so you can tag it for that seminar so you know that if they didn't attend, then you can follow up with them because Corey said he's going to be scheduling a lot more seminars coming up. So there's going to be more opportunity to get them out to a seminar.
Very good. Good to know. All right. Any other questions, comments, testimony? 3, 2, 1. All right. So we'll go into this next portion real quick. Hopefully you can see my screen, and this is going to be just real quick, about maybe 10, 11 slides. There's a total of about maybe 30 slides in here. I'm not going through all of them. I'm just going for the top 10, and you can go through our Yammer training once we upload it, and we have some another video section that we'll upload it to. But I wanted to do this because I've heard from some of you agents that are working with veterans, and you're asking, how does this work and how does that work? So this is just a quick, basic training. Hopefully you can see my screen. Y'all can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the perks of a VA loan. First of all, they have somebody in the military, and there is a criteria that they would have to follow or meet. But usually, if they have a DD-214 or honorable discharge or served in National Guard, they should be able to get the VA loans. But one of the two biggest perks about the loan is that there is no down payment required, and in the loan there's no PMI. You see, most loans are going to include principal and interest, taxes, insurance, and some form of mortgage insurance, either mortgage insurance premium, which is MIP, or principal mortgage insurance, same basic concept. But VA loans only have three numbers: principal and interest, taxes, and insurance. So what does that mean to the buyer? Well, this is an example of somebody buying a $250,000 home at a 3.75% interest and a 3.3 tax rate area. Okay, so you can see on the left-hand side on a VA loan, there's their principal and interest is $1,182, taxes $632, insurance $83.33, and MIP is $0. So their payment is $1,898. And on the right-hand side, you can see the main difference. The difference on P&I is that FHA requires 3.5% down, so their P&I amount is going to be a little bit less. Tax rate's the same because it's based on sales price. Insurance is going to be constant, and these numbers could change on insurance. I'm using a new home. If it was a new home, these are typically what the rates would be. But the MIP is $170. So the difference is $1,898 versus $2,023. Plus the money down required for the VA is $0. And you can see on the right-hand side for the FHA, it's $8,750. So those are some perks for the VA, right? Not having that MIP or the down payment. Okay. Moving on, there are closing costs and unallowable fees. So veterans who take advantage of the VA Home Loan Guarantee Program can never be charged for the following costs. One is inspection fees for builders, either required by HUD or FHA, right? These inspection fees for the builders, they don't pay those. Inspections for termites or other pests. So the way that works is, well, wait a minute, my veteran buyer did pay for a termite inspection. We will need the lender will need the invoice for that termite inspection, and what they'll do is they'll credit the buyer for that amount of money at closing. Okay, so that they get credit back for it at closing. Doesn't mean, oh, Mr. Seller, you're going to have to pay for it. I mean, it could, but normally they don't. So they'll just get credit for it at closing. Attorney fees that benefit the lender. Other things would also include fees charged by a mortgage broker. I think we were talking about other types of fees, not the loan origination fee, but other fees, processing fees, certain fees. You'll just have to talk to your lender on that. Realtor's commission. So I was thinking, wow, what if we sell it for sale by owner? Well, you raise the price to include it, and the seller pays that commission, not the buyer. And then prepayment penalties. So these are just a few, and again, we're going to load this PowerPoint up so you'll be able to review it later. Closing costs that the lender can require the veterans to pay is a VA funding fee. Now, this is added to the loan amount. So usually it's about around 2.15% of the loan. So if your buyer had a $100,000 home, and they have the funding fee, they're going to be financing at least $102,000, $150, somewhere around there. So about $102,000. So it's and it's not an out-of-pocket expense. It just gets rolled into the loan. Now, the VA funding fee can be waived if the applicant has 10% or more of VA disability. And this is just one loan. There's other VA loans out there that do require this, but I'm just talking about a basic VA loan. Now, if they're 100% disabled, And I've worked with several that have been, deemed 100% disabled, and they walk around, and there's, it's not that they're in wheelchairs or anything. It's just for whatever reason their medical benefits through the VA, they've been labeled as 100% disabled. But in certain counties, they will allow the veteran full tax exemption. So that means they don't have to pay any taxes whatsoever. I know in Harris County and Montgomery, that's true, but you have to verify for each other county that you're in. It may be true for Fort Bend and other counties, but you'll just have to talk to your lender to find out, if they receive the full tax exemption. Now, if they're going to do that, if the payment's going to drop because they're not paying the taxes, that doesn't mean that you can just go and get them, the most expensive house you could, but they have to qualify for the loan as if they are paying the taxes. Now, the way that it works, how are they going to get reimbursed, or how do they, qualify to remove that tax exemption? Well, the client must file a homestead exemption form on their own. So they have to fill it out, send it in to the county, get the approval. Once the approval comes in, they get that approval letter, then they send that to the lender, and the lender will go ahead and, stop picking that up on their, collecting it for their escrow. Okay? So the way that could work out, the same scenario, 100% disabled veteran, all they're going to be responsible for is the P&I and the insurance. So their payment went down to $1,266.01. Again, zero down, nothing out of pocket for them, right? Or don't get me wrong. And then there's other things that they can pay for within this in this PowerPoint. There's other costs, but I'm not going to go through that because there's about 30 other things. And but I just wanted to at least go over this portion here, and you can look it up online. It'll show you there. We'll have it in Yammer. So any questions on this portion here?
Robbie, a comment?
Yes.
So recently I wrote a D.R. Horton contract. It was a veteran, and the sales rep and I kind of like team tag and show them exactly what you're seeing here. And so even though they're not required to have a down payment, we still can use the down payment assistance and use it towards the closing costs. Now, the builder was only giving $4,000 towards their closing costs. We still needed about $5,000 because the house is over $300,000. And so at the end of the day, when I did all the programs, including the MCC, down payment assistance, and the closing costs from the builder, she's 80% disabled. The numbers came really good, and we wrote on the spot. Now, when we send the contract to the builder, to DHI Mortgage, I don't know if it was the processor or the loan officer, they shut me down. They said, listen, they're veterans, so it is not necessary to apply for the program. And I said, I understand how VA works. However, we still want to apply for the Texas bond because they're qualified for it. They work on their credit, and we want to offset the cost out of pocket. So if it was, the buyer had already, accepted the answer from the lender because they emailed everybody, and I had to step in, and I said, no, I understand it is not necessary on your view, but it is because A, B, C, and D, and this is what it will be, the cost out of pocket once all the fees are already, accredited for. So sometimes the lenders will just be, oh, we don't have to do that, but you have to kind of like step up, and this is why Robbie is showing you this, because it is very important. You want to maximize the credit for your client, and this is how they get that money back at closing. They can get their earnest money back.
Exactly. That 2% funding fee is important when you're, you need to know. I always ask the client, and the reason I'm asking, Mr. Client, now, are you receiving any disability? And I need to know that for my own self, because when I sell them a home, when I sell them a home, I need to factor that in, because what if we want to sell next year? Okay, just know that we have a 2% funding fee that's included in this. So now your house is like, Teresa had a house that she just sold, but she sold it one year ago, and then a year later she sells it, for them to move. And so that was a $200,000 home, but now it's 204, right? Because we had that 2% funding fee. So he was priced a little bit higher than some of the other clients there. But that's good that you can use the down payment assistance. You can still use MCC with it as well. Now, when you use down payment assistance with it on a VA, does the interest rate change, or does it like it does on an FHA?
Yes, because it's tied into the bond. So I believe for the state of Texas, there's two different down payment assistance amounts. I believe one is 5%, and I believe the other one is 3%. And based on getting the 3%, I believe you get a little bit better interest rate on it.
Okay.
Right.
And somebody posted about the septic and water. That's different. So you will the inspection for that is going to come out of the buyer themselves, because that's as far as I know, and from this training it is. But again, check with if you're unsure of something, contact your lender.
Yep.
All right.
And something else to add real quick for those that are new, there is an actual designation that you can get. It's called the Military Relocation Professionals Designation, where you're going to learn about, a lot of the military stuff, the effects of relocating and how to work with that particular type of veteran buyer. If you do not have that designation, we advise you to go ahead and take that class at your local association. I believe they also may give it on the internet. I'm not for sure if we have that as one of the classes through Real Estate Express, but you could probably check through the list. But that's something that probably you should get. So if you're going to work with veterans, you can say that you are designated as a military relocation professional.
Very good. Does anybody have questions on veteran loans or comments? All right.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and move into our next section, and so yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Just Corey,
Okay.
I move control over on your side.
Okay, I got it. So real quick, we're going to have some guest speakers from 755 Credit Score talk first about how they know newhomeprograms.com, and then what we're going to do is talk about an arrangement we have with them that could be a blessing both for them as well as newhomeprograms.com. But real quick, for those that are joining in for the first time, you probably noticed that there's a little icon with the monitor that's probably on your screen, and it has a little red dot. What that red dot means is that there's attachments that we've actually uploaded to these Skype meetings. So I'm going to show you how you can access those attachments. Just click on the little monitor, and then it's going to say right here, manage content, and it has the number 5. So that means there's 5 attachments that have been uploaded. And then you can see the name of the attachments, and then you can see a little eyeball. So when you click on the eyeball, it's going to allow you to go ahead and download it. Okay? So real quick, we're going to introduce Mr. Robert Pfister and his partner Dustin Simon. They're on the call right now, so we want to go ahead and have Robert or Dustin, whoever wants to start first, go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give us the testimony of how we know you guys.
Yes, Corey, thank you. Thanks for having me on. And I know you spoke a little bit, and a lot of people joined the meeting. But, we met you guys, or I did, years ago, when you had the idea where, new home programs, you will expand it to Florida, and your faith was driving you to an idea, and I'm seeing it right now, years later, and I'm very impressed the way how it works, and I know you guys did a lot of work on it. You guys have a great website. It looks like you have a bunch of people working with you right now, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I want to just talk a little bit about 755 credit score, okay? And I know, Corey, we spoke last week, probably once a day, for the whole week. But, 755 credit score was, I worked on credit and my own credit starting, 12 years ago, and I'm doing it now for the last, I want to say 8 years. And the company, I put the company together, meaning website and really get it out to the people probably in the last 4 to 5 years. It was a long road for me, but what we do, in 755 credit score, we do have, we located here on the NASA Road 1 across from Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. We have some locations. We will open probably in this year in San Antonio. One already opened in Humboldt, Texas. One we just, last Monday we just opened one on here in Houston, close to downtown on 45 and 610. And these are locations where people can go and really get credit consultation. We are a licensed firm here in the state of Texas, and a lot of people don't know if you are a counselor, credit counselor, credit repair, anything to do with credit, you have to have a state license. If you don't have a state license, it's against the law, and I can believe a lot of people paying, credit repair guys out there a lot of money and do not even get a license. So it's very important for everybody to know is, hey, you need a license to do what we do, and my faith brought me to what I'm doing right now. And I'll be honest. 15 years ago, I got everything on my credit you can imagine. Repos, anything it's out there, I used to have. And I went out and tried to get help. I called the big guys, Lexington Law. I called, lawyers. I remember I paid a lawyer $3,000 for my tax lien I had. And the only thing the guy told me after I paid him 3 months later, he says, well, I can help you. So finally, I sat down and studied what I have to do to get things off. So I know firsthand, if I tell a client I can help you, I will help you. Every credit is different, of course. And what we do here in 755 Credit Score, we always look at all our clients' credit. And I'm a very big supporter for the military and ex-military, and you guys was talking about it before. And I hope you guys, if you get anybody with a veteran loan or anybody in the military, make sure you thank him, because this guy's out there fighting for us, or was fighting for us, so we can do what we're doing right now. So that's very important to me. We do give military discounts. I don't have to, but I do. And I think what my company is all about is we care about our clients. And I was very excited when I got in contact with New Home Programs, because I know them, the people of faith, they do the right thing, and this is what I want to do for my clients. I never ever charge a client if I can help it. And if I can perform what I promised them, I will refund them the money 100%. But, on the end of the day, the credit, credit repair and credit counseling, it's two different things. So I'm not calling myself credit repair 100% because we're more a counseling firm. We have people coming in, we counsel them, we guide them the road what they need to take to get a better credit so they can get a home, they can get a car, or just repair the credit. 80% of all the clients we have want to buy homes, okay? So if the new home programs, I'm super excited because now I can send all the clients who want to buy a home, you guys, to you guys, and you take care of them, and I know you will care about them, get them in a new home. And I want to say it very, very strongly. We care about our clients, and it is about the money, but it isn't about the money. And what I'm saying with this is, the money is important. We all have bills to pay. We have family to raise. We have, mortgages to pay ourselves, But if you take the money aside and really care about the clients, in your case is, hey, let's get them a home, more than, hey, how much money I can make from this, guys, your life will change. And it did. It definitely helped me out. And I have one story I want to share with you guys very quickly. And when you go on the front page of my website, and maybe you can bring it up again, I had a client last year, and he called me up and said, and he had only one or two items on there, and he says how much it will cost me, and I told him, I said, really, I really can charge you for one or two items. Just let me, just refer some clients to me. And Corey, can bring up the website, my website, the front page. And I helped the guy, okay? And he was worried, and I want you to see this video. You see the APC 13? 7 months later, a guy comes in my office, and 95% of my people I never see face to face. Everything's online. I have clients from Portland, Oregon to Florida, all over. We do hundreds of clients every month. So this guy comes in with a camera, and he says, hey, you want to do an interview about credit counseling, credit repair? And I ask him and say, hey, why are you here to help me? Or why are you here to ask me? And he says, I'm one of your clients. You helped me last year. You never charged me. And I was blessed with this because I'm telling you, when this particular thing aired, I have 12 phone lines coming into my office. Every phone line was blinking, and I had about 1,000 website hits in 1 hour. So caring about my clients and caring about the product themselves, it's very close to my heart, and this is why I want to share this little story with you, because it did change my life. I went from, doing 50 clients, up to 200 clients in a matter of a week, So it really helped. Also, what I want to share with you guys is you guys do, selling homes, working hard for your money out there. And I'm sure you're running across from people who have bad credit, okay? On my side, people call me with bad credit, good credit. And when I say good credit I have a lot of clients, they have 750 credit score, 800 credit score. And the reason why this guy's call is, do you want to buy a home? And do you want to make sure there's nothing on their credit when you go and apply for a new home? So they don't look like a fool in front of the real estate people. Because if they have one collection item, they don't like it. I have also clients they think 750 it's a bad credit score, and they want to know how to get to 800. So our relationship will be a very mutual relationship. We have a lot of clients they're ready to buy homes. I want to share them with you, and vice versa. What I tell everybody in the mortgage industry and the real estate industry is, hey, if you have clients who cannot buy a home or can get a mortgage because of credit issues, if there's a way 20% of these people will come back to you every year, your life will change in general. And I'm the guy who want to send you this 20% back because I will want to fix him up. I want to help him. I want to counsel them how to get into a new home. And that's all I want to tell you about my company. So if anybody have any questions, just speak up and just ask me.
Okay. So real quick, before we ask the questions, I'm going to kind of explain a little bit what we're doing here with the new home programs, agents, and 755 credit, so that there's no confusion. So with the leads that we get, sometimes we're going to get people that are probably like a 450, 490, 510, and the reason they're so low is they're currently behind on their car payment or their credit cards, or maybe their credit cards just went to collection. And understanding mortgage guidelines, we know that that person is going to be someone that's going to have to wait more than a year to buy a home, because the thing is, with most of the guidelines for mortgages, they don't want you to have any late payments in the last 12 months. So if someone came to us today and they're currently behind on their car payment, you know that they actually have to catch up the delinquent payments, then they have to be caught up on time. And from our analysis, that type of person doesn't have the means to go ahead and catch up 2 to 3 months of car payments. So typically what we do is say, well, right now we cannot help you because it doesn't make sense to put you into our credit enhancement program because you're currently late on your payments right now. So you're not in a financial situation to purchase a home. But if you could go and catch up your payments and probably at least pay 2 to 3 payments on time, then you can revisit us, and then at that time we can see if you're going to be a fit for our program. So typically we do a soft rejection. We still give them hope for the future, but the honest truth is we know that we can't help that person. And we know that even if we did meet with this person, we can't pay their bills for them. They have to be the one that somehow catches their payments up. So that type of person, they need more than credit repair. They really need credit counseling and financial budgeting to be able to get back on track with paying their bills and then rebuilding their credit score. So for that type of person, we've always said, well, probably you need to go find someone that can help you with your credit because you're not ready to buy a home, and you're not going to be ready to buy a home for at least more than 1 year. And we know that with the market being so hot, if we can't get someone in a position to get them qualified for a mortgage within 6 to 7 months, we know that probably they will be priced out of the market 12 months into the future anyways. And the odds are, if they're delinquent in their accounts now, we know for a fact that they're probably not going to get the secure credit card. And so the thing is, we don't want to waste their time, and we don't want to waste our time. So with this arrangement we have with the 755 credit score is for those buyers that we cannot help within that 6 to 12 month time frame, most definitely we can send them to Robert and Dustin, because they have a better infrastructure that solely takes care of people's credit and education. Ours is more of, let's get you qualified for a mortgage and have you out in the field and showing homes. So what we need to do is say, listen, we're not a credit counseling agency, but we do have a partnership with one. We think you'd be a good fit for credit counseling, okay? Because these people really need more than just credit repair. They need actual credit counseling. So that's the first part of what we're doing, is having an outlet to be able to point people into a direction and say there is hope, but we're not going to be the ones that's going to help you. But if you contact this organization, they have offices, in our city, and they're starting to expand in different states. So go and meet with these guys face to face, and they're going to be able to help you. So that's the first thing. Now here's the other thing. Yes, there's a cost that 755 credit score has in place. So we have an arrangement that any person that is referred from 755 credit score, and also people that we refer to them that we can't help, if that person goes through their program and God willing they come back with better credit, that we didn't have to spend time with them because we couldn't help them in the CEP, when they come back to us, we will reimburse them via a home buyer's rebate from the commission of the closing, we will reimburse them dollar for dollar whatever they paid to 755 Credit. So, worst case scenario, based on their pricing model, I saw that $1,200 could be the max one-time lump sum, but also they have monthly payment plans. So if the person pays $1,200 one time, or they're going to pay monthly, and it comes out to be $1,200 for the entire time, we're willing to rebate them up to $1,200, which now means that the service that 755 Credit Score is offering can actually become free to the actual home buyer. And the agreement is, and you can look at the fine print, is that they have to use newhomeprograms.com as their real estate brokerage. So does anybody have any question about this arrangement that we have with 755 Credit, particularly how do you know the difference of a person who's a fit for CEP versus being able to refer them out to 755 Credit Score? Any questions?
Yes, Corey. We'll still get a pre-qual from the client and run them through our lenders to see where they're at before we send them over?
Yes, we have to, because we don't know if there's someone we can help with the mortgage period, let alone if they don't have the greatest credit. So yes, we still have to run their credit. We'll get the credit report, and then we'll make the decision if this is someone that needs to have a higher level of credit counseling, which, as you saw, Mr. Roberts show you, he is a licensed credit repair organization in the state. So this guy meets the state guidelines and he meets the federal guidelines as a credit counseling agency. So that's not the realm of work that we do. That's what they do. So we will make the decision if this person needs that type of service, and we'll send them over to them.
And will they be on a buyer's representation while they're working with 755 Credit, or how will we know that they'll come back to us?
Okay, so here's the thing. We do not put people on buyer's rep agreements for more than a 1-year term. Okay, typically we're putting them on a 90-day term if they're qualified, and if they're not qualified and in CEP, we'll put them on a 1 year. So this is the type of person that we know that we can't help probably within 1 year. So we're not going to get them on a buyer's rep. That's why we're going to give them this flyer and say, listen, if you speak with 755 Credit and you decide to use their services, we want you to take this flyer, because this is what's going to guarantee that if you do come back to us, you're going to be able to get reimbursed for what you paid.
Okay.
And Corey, and I want to answer that question. That's a good question, because a lot of people ask me this question. We also affiliated with ACU, Texas Credit Union. I'm the only credit counselor, probably in the United States, who partnered up with a bank or with a credit union. And I'm very, very proud of that. And this question always comes up, hey, how does people come back? Well, the major difference between us and others is we are a counseling firm. We counsel these people probably twice a month, 3 times a month. They're getting emails from us. And the first reason they came to us is to get a mortgage. If, say, for instance, you send us a client. We counsel them all the way through so they can get the mortgage. So there's 95% of all the clients we ever get from somebody, they always go back to the guy who sends them, because that's the reason you came, first of all. You see, the credit repair guys out there, the guys who don't have a license and would only care about the money, is they delete a lot of things off their credit, even good things, and soon they paid them, they never hear back from them. So that's the major difference between us and others. So can I force them to go back to you? But if they're happy, and you truly think you care about their mortgage, and we care about their credit getting better to get into this mortgage, there's no way they would never go back to you.
Awesome.
This is great, Robert. I probably have a couple questions for you on my end. We did a couple referrals for you, but we can talk about that later if that's okay. I don't want to take up the call time now.
Yeah, and you have my website, my phone number. You can call, any of us. My extension over here is 101. Your main contact probably will be Dustin, his extension is 104. And what I want to just mention very quick also, 755 credit score, we have actually people working for us. They used to work for the credit bureaus. So one of my admin, she is not on the line right now, but Beatrice, she used to manage TransUnion for over 10 years. So I have a lot of insights how credit works all the way up to the credit bureau. And we're very proud of that.
Okay, so it looks like we have a question from Michael. What is the monthly fee for 755 credit score?
The monthly fee, so the way how it starts out, after the consultation, after we say, hey, we can take your case, it's $180 to get started and $105 a month. So the monthly fee gets collected the day of they started. So when you start the 25th, they get charged the 25th next month. So we don't go from month to month. We try to get everybody through our program the first 4 to 6 months. There's not a lot of people I ever signed up. They have a yearly deal. You know, I just finished a client. He started with 480, and 7 months into it, he was a 720. So we try to work in quick and don't hold him back to get what you want, car, mortgage, whatever, because we believe, and I believe, referral is the best of the best. And faster I take care of a client, faster I get him back to you so you can sell him a home, more clients you will send me. And this ultimately will make my money. And that's why I always say it's not about the money, but it is about the money.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you're opening these offices. So are you set up as a franchise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we had people in Florida that wanted to open up one of your franchises, how would we go about doing that? Because I understand that a lot of people, especially in the Hispanic community, they don't want to deal with you via the internet and telephone. They actually want to have an office that they can walk in and like touch someone and have you explain your services. So I think it would probably be a great idea if you had offices out in Tampa Bay and Orlando. But how do we go about helping you guys to get offices out there?
Certainly. Right now, I actually just came back from Florida, from Jacksonville, and I went down to Vero Beach, Florida. So I'm trying to actually expand as we speak into Vero Beach, Florida. Soon the first office is open. And of course, if anybody knows or anybody been involved in this, the way how it works, they just have to go through a training program with the corporate office here in Houston. And we set up a location maybe close by. So if there's somebody in Tampa, Florida, who is interested, you just have to give me a call and we get this started. But for me, it's all about the care about the clients. And like you said, Corey, yeah, there's a lot of people who just want to go to an office, drop off the letters and talk about their credit and what they can do.
Okay, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, we're actually running out of time. We're almost hitting 10 o'clock. We have Millie who's going to be doing her topic. So what we'll do is if you guys have any questions for these guys, Dustin just posted his email address. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add Dustin to the New Home Programs group so you guys can correspond with your questions via the group as well so that we can all get those answers. But we just want to go ahead and thank Mr. Robert and Dustin for being on the call today. And again, if you guys have any questions, we're going to add them to the New Home Programs group, just like we do other partners and agreements, with other companies, so that make it a lot easier for you guys to be able to correspond. Is there anything else that you need to say, Mr. Robert or Dustin, before we get Millie on the line?
Not right now. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to working with everybody.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to Robbie, And we have Millie up next talking about making a $68,000 month.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
There we go. Robbie and his graphics. All right, Robbie, you have it.
Oh, sorry about that. My line was muted. Here we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So we want to talk about having a $68,000 month, and I know that, we're coming up on that 10 o'clock hour, or the 10 o'clock a.m. here in Houston. But I'm telling you, this is going to be very, very important. I used to go to conferences, and we'd be sitting down, 2 or 3 hours, and then we'd have to go take a pee break, and you missed the most important nugget, right, that you could have gotten. And so we call that the $1 million pee. So do not get up and leave. Don't shut down your computer, because we have Millie coming up here in a bit. And before I want to introduce her, this is somebody that has the right mindset, because in this business, you have to be mentally tough. Okay, there's times when you're going to lose a buyer or they're not going to work. We still have those. It's not like she has the 100% record on everybody that talks to her. They write. There's some that are CP. There's some that come back. There's some that will. But I know that sometimes as an agent, especially when you're just starting, you may think, man, my last 3 deals I messed up. You know what? I've had a stretch of about 7 to 8 where it just didn't happen. But you get over it and you move forward. You get past that. So you have to be mentally tough. You also have to believe that you can do it. Put on the Facebook. You got to pray about it, see it, and then start implementing the action to achieve it. If you just think, well, it's just going to happen, I got my license, that's not true. There's other things that have to go in there. You're going to have to do the work. I can't believe that I'm saying that I get over the weekend that we get tired doing real estate. I'm mentally exhausted. Paying attention to somebody wears me out. I'm sure it wears Millie out. But you're about to hear from somebody who's doing it, who's pioneered the company and everything that we teach and share. She's doing it, and she hasn't changed it. She's not going over, well, let me try something new. No, it's working. So why fix something that's not broken? So grab your pens, your pencils, whatever, your notepad. Take down these notes. Millie, the call's yours.
I'm going to say it like Robbie says, good morning, good morning, good morning. We didn't have that this morning. I hope everybody is pumped up. So much greatness happening all around New Home Programs. I am so excited for March to be over. Praise the Lord for a great month. I just wanted to share with you a couple of verses that just keep me going. Whatever you do, work at it as with all your heart as working with the Lord for not human matters. That's Colossians 3:23. And then Psalm 90:17 says, may the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of your hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. So yes, we have to have the right mindset, and conflicts are going to happen. Okay, if life is going to happen, but you have to be focused. I love that picture that Robbie posted right now on the screen, because if you can see, that is the core of my business. That book that you see there, that calendar is going to be that establish what it's going to happen in the day. So yes, we had a blessed day. 9 families were closed and confirmed. We had one that did not because pipe busted the day before the walkthrough, before closing, but we are closing this Friday, God willing. So basically, I just wanted to, first of all, start saying that some of you may have kids may have circumstances that you may think, oh, well, Millie doesn't have any kids, or Millie, has more time or whatever. I do have senior parents, and sometimes they're like teenagers. Like this morning, I just had to rush to the hospital for my dad's doctor's appointment, and I was rushing back so that I can be on time for the call. But you know what? The positive attitude will keep you going, and you have to have that peace that surpasses understanding in everything you do. So, trying to have two sets of parents, Corey says, and they're 60 exactly. I guess Corey and I are having training for whenever we have kids, apparently. But anyways, what made this month so special? First of all, I want to also give glory where it is due. I want to thank Donna, Richie, Denise, Cole, Melissa Losak, William West. I believe that's a top of my head and Francisco, because these are agents that I have partnered with that are able to actually increase production, not only my numbers, but also their numbers, and get training. I do appreciate the initiative, because I know that every single one of you, when you call me, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, I know you're busy. We all have to be busy, right? But I appreciate the initiative of some of you that even though you know that I'm busy, you are actually looking forward to, hey, Millie, how can I help you? Because you know that you're going to be blessed as well. So I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for these agents that actually came over and just dedicated themselves to us for showing teamwork pays off. So I just wanted to share my day. For example, on Monday, okay, and I don't know who I was sharing with. I think it was Kenithia. I'm going to call you Kay because I'm always chopping your first name, John's recruit. But anyways, on Mondays after the Monday call, the first thing that I do, I look at my board. I have two boards at this moment. One that has the end month closings, okay? And those are the first one. If you've seen my pictures on Facebook, those are the ones in green. And then below those are the ones that are written to close later in the year. Maybe bills or inventories that are going to close later that are not this month. I also have another board where I have all the people that are pre-qualified already with a prequal and the ones that are coming out of CEP that are graduating. So the first thing I do after the phone call on Monday morning, if there's no closings or any walkthroughs, I'm getting on the phone and I'm following up with the lenders first of all for the ones that are in contract. So if I need to follow up with the lender, look at I have a little sheet that I said, okay, the option period ends this day. I got to make sure that the inspection is in. I got to make sure that they already did the termite inspection as FXBA. So at all the steps that are going through, I want to make sure that every Monday that I'm calling to see where that loan is, if we're on track to closing. That is my number one priority. Following up will be the ones that are approved, okay, that I have partnered up with people to go out and see homes. If it's someone like Denise or Donna, I don't even have to call them because they're actually giving me feedback. Hey, we met with this person, this is happening, so I love the initiative. But if they're not calling me, then I'm calling them, hey, how is this client going? Because we need to make sure that they are on contract. And then after that, I'm going to be calling the ones that are coming out of credit enhancement in order to, to get them to the lenders, all the income documents and things like that. March was insanely busy. I don't think I've ever had a month this busy. Right now, if you see my desk, you will just, shake your head. But I need to get organized today because I have written contracts as of this weekend that I have not put on the system, and there's prequels. I had no time to do credit enhancement the month of March. Insane. So I got to backtrack today and see what are the clients that are already coming out of or that have been referred. And I need to schedule my week for the credit enhancement. So people on contract, priority number 1. People that are pre-qualified, showing priority number 2. Then graduates from credit enhancement, priority number 3. And then I'm going to schedule my CEPs in the month, because you cannot neglect those credit enhancement people, because once your board is filled up, and you start closing, then you gotta get more people, to get on the board. So if you neglect them, then you're gonna have a gap, and that's not good because your bills come every month, right? So you want to make sure that you have a constant pipeline producing, those people that are graduated. So thankfully, we had other clients that are qualified that are not credit enhancement, and those are the people that I actually put on Sunday so that I can meet initially and start putting a plan of action and meeting with one of you that will coordinate with me as far as showings. Basically, the store title calendar, that is the core of my business, because if it's not in that calendar, it's not happening, I will slip and I will not do whatever it is. If I need to call somebody, if I have appointments, before in the past I used to put only people that I was seeing in my day, but I would neglect calling people that I said that I was going to call them, or whatever. So pick up signs or pick up this. I put every single thing on that calendar, and it keeps me going. So I don't know what else I can say other than life will happen and people will steal your time. You just gotta prioritize what is important to you. Well, one more thing I will say. If you don't have a goal, then you don't know where you're going. So basically, I know that when I wanted to do the flooring in my home, I wanted bamboo flooring, and I knew how much it's going to be. I knew that was an expense. I knew what my bills were going to be for that month, and additional to that, I needed to have the money to spend on the flooring. So that was a good month, and I knew exactly how much I needed in commission. And then I divided, okay, that means that if I don't get any BTSAs or any bonuses on commission, then I need this amount of closings. In order to have 5 closings on a month, I need to have X amount of appointment of qualified buyers, which means the amount of credit enhancement that graduates needs to be X. So you gotta know what your goal is, and granted, I will get referrals with people that are ready and qualified. Like for example, this month I had 2 people that had over 700 scores. They wanted to put $150,000 down, but you know what? One of them got, let go from the job. So, I cannot put my trust on the people that are easy. I gotta, put in work, dream big, work hard, make it a reality. That is my motto for 2017. Because if you dream big and sit on your hands, nothing is going to happen. So put your goals first, plan it, plan your business, what you need to do, and then execute. That is the goal. Any questions?
Questions, comments? I'm here. Who's going to do it? Come on, there's got to be somebody. I know, a lot of times we hear stuff, and I'm sure they're just writing stuff down as well. But it wasn't like you had, 30 clients that you closed. It was just, you're helping, and but you did have a lot. I don't know what the number was, but it's just taking one, I guess, one at a time, getting them on the books, and. But, yeah.
Donna wanted to review. Can you review your board one more time, please? Yes. So, are you saying how I'm writing it down is just the first one are going to be in month, So all the contracts that are closing in the month of April will go first, right? And then anything that's going to close May and the rest of the year will be second or below that board, half down. So that picture that Corey's posting, that big board, that's where I would put the in-month closing, right? And then that little one where the purple writing is, that just now has changed to my qualified buyers. And right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It used to be 10 qualified right now, but I just got an offer, counter offer accepted this morning. So 9 qualified, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the board to close. So I'm running low my numbers because the goal is to have 10 constant closings on the board so that your pipeline can never be, slow. So in month, later closings, qualified buyers that have pre-approval from the lenders will be in the little board, and then the ones at the bottom will be the ones that are qualified credit enhancement graduate, but they're pending on income documents to send to the lender to get that pre-qual. Does that make sense, Donna?
And we can hire the guy in the video to help post your board if you need a board. He's willing to go to Florida and post it. Just really good at doing that. There you go.
And another thing is like this is the core time of selling, you guys. Before the new school year starts, the weather is getting better. Well, Florida always has good weather, but us here in Houston, it's sunny now, so it's the time that people are just really more interested in buying. So you should be always ready to be available to get them, in your board, of course.
There's no more comments. We're going to go ahead and end. Is there anything on the sidebar here? Let's see. Temporary. All right. Additional commission level.
Hey, Robbie, can I say something?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say that I can't underemphasize the fact that CEP, although hard work up front for all of you who are beginning, I've been with New Home Programs now, I think just a year now. And now all the CEPs that I had originally are going to start coming to fruition. And so I just want to encourage all of the newer folks that not to forsake the work up front with these credit folks, because it will come to pass the day they start graduating that your month will start to look extremely well. So again, I just want to say that although it may be a lot of work up front and studying and understanding the process, it will definitely at some point serve you well. So again, I just want to emphasize that point, not to forsake the work and the CEP clients, because it's just going. This year is going to end quite well because of what we reap what we sow, and the sowing was hard. I got to tell you, because as realtors we like the low hanging fruit. We want to make the money. We got to pay bills. But I got to tell you, it's, if you stick it out and hang in there and stick with the plan that NHP has in place, it will serve you well and you will reap it.
Thanks for sharing that, Mike.
Hey, Robbie.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to say that, I talk to a lot of the agents all the time, and they're always busy, and then they are busy. But time is their probably worst enemy. So if you can learn time management and how to deal with everything, then you're going to be able to profit a lot more. I got the privilege of working with Millie for a year and a half. I can't so much anymore now that, it's more corporate stuff that I'm doing. But I watched Millie. She worked and we worked together, and she managed her time. So with personal time and work time and CEPs. So time management is your worst enemy. So if you can learn how to do that, then you have a better benefit.
True. Got to have a calendar system some way, somehow. All right. Well, with anybody else, Corey, any last comments?
Well, we had a good month in the month of March. We still have a lot of deals that we're trying to get closed out on the books, still waiting for checks to come in. But I believe that when the dust settles, that'll probably be the biggest month we've ever had in new home programs history. Typically, August and December are our biggest months. But right now, it's like we're hitting our stride. A lot of you guys that have been here for a little bit now, you guys are hitting your stride. And, now we have about 60 people plugged into the new home program organization, with about 95% being partners. We've got Boomtown now, so that's helping us accelerate. So I think this year is going to be super tremendous, and you just got to keep plugging away, managing your time. And I think that this year we're going to have a lot of agents who are going to be testifying how they're making $40,000 a month just off of the selling, not even including the profit sharing bonus. So just keep doing what you're doing and build your pipeline, and we'll do a little bit more advertising for you. We're looking at probably going on to the television station, Channel 2, here in Houston, and try to get some TV ad space there. But at the end of the day, we can market our butts off and bring tons of people to the website, but you guys have to be the closer. So just make sure that every lead that you get, in your mind, you're going to always be closing in every single step of the sale, and that's the only way you're going to be able to have good income in real estate with us.
Corey, can I mention one more thing?
Go ahead.
I just want to remind all of you Floridians, the Florida marketplace, that we have two seminars coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Tampa and Spring Hill area. That's north of Tampa, where the price points are absolutely phenomenal. So I just want to encourage you guys to get your links from Brent and start moving towards getting your leads to participate in these programs where they can get excited and potentially convert and solidify the relationship with you guys to move forward with you. Okay, so if you have anybody on the fence, use these seminars as a way to solidify your relationship. So I just wanted to remind everybody this weekend. Okay, if you don't have the information on Facebook, on our website, our site page on Facebook, there are the flyers. Or if you need any more information, I think Jose will be able to provide that, as well as myself, for those seminars. That's it.
All right. Well, guys,